1985, 17-year-old Criss graduated high school and was free to follow his dream of becoming a world-famous illusionist.
Instead of going to college, my college was going out there and doing it in the real world and making mistakes and figuring things out.
Criss decided to put together his own TV show on a cable access station.
It was called Hot Kicks. I produced it, I created it, wrote it, started it, and it was really my first endeavor in having a television series, even though it was at the local level.
Criss decided he needed a catchy new name.
I didn't like my original last name because it was very hard to remember. I had the amazing Randy on my show, who's a very famous magician and author. And I said, you know, Randy, I'm thinking of these different names. And he said, Angel, that's great. He says, you look nothing like an angel. You know what? Let me just go with Criss Angel.
Christopher always used to practice his signature. In the walls or every place you could find space, he would do it.
Even something as little as Chris's signature was so important to Criss, like how the signature looked and how it made you feel. He was always interested in how things made you feel.
Criss would watch other magicians, respected what they did for the art, but felt that magic never garnished the respect as music or arts or movies or what have you. He felt something was lacking.
I thought magic was a beautiful art, but I thought magicians were very cheesy. I grew up, you know, the MTV generation, and I was much more interested in music, you know, great bands like Led Zeppelin or the Beatles.
To set himself apart, Angel decided to pair his first love, music, with his magic. He formed the Criss Angel Band and took center stage.
I realized that I was way too big of a hand to be stuck behind a drum set, so I really focused on singing and taking voice instructions.
It was definitely a hair band, and at the time it was really cool. Criss took it very seriously, and he performed locally here at all of the clubs.
The fledgling rock star attracted the attention of a local girl named Joanne Winkhart. The pair began dating. By the mid-90s, Criss traded in his old look for a new image and a new band.
Angel Dust was definitely a little bit more goth than the other bands, a little bit more dark, a little bit harder metal. Criss wore makeup like black lips, heavy black eyeliner, black fingernails, leather, sleeveless shirts, and big boots.
He was looking for a record deal, and I was like, let's not just be another rock project. Let's go and see what we can do about using your illusion and talent to try to put a show together.
I was really frustrated with the industry as a whole because people out there in the entertainment field will promise you the world, and when it comes down to it, they're full of, you know, BS. I was going to take matters into my own hands. I created my little Angel Productions Incorporated.
With the help of his dad, Criss purchased a toll-free telephone number and turned the family den into a call center.
When people would call the office, I would use a different voice, and I would use a different name to create the illusion that Angel Productions Incorporated was hugely successful. And if you wanted, you know, Criss Angel's office, press 1. If you wanted Apertrag Records, press 2. If you're looking for a live show or a television production, press 3.
We started merchandising some t-shirts, some hats, and the orders would come in. My mom would go in the garage and pick out the merchandise, box it, and send it out to the fans.
In the summer of 1995, Angel flew to Las Vegas to shop around some ideas. But a family tragedy cut the trip short. Criss's father, John, was diagnosed with stomach cancer and given 3 weeks to live.
I immediately flew back and basically sacrificed whatever opportunities I had and just put everything on hold because the most important thing was to be there with my dad and take care of him.
My husband was the greatest husband and the greatest father. He was very close with my sons, all three of them, especially Christopher because he was the youngest. It was very tough for Christopher because he had to stop doing magic. He had no desire knowing his father is laying in a hospital.
Dad would never complain. All of the pain and suffering he went through, he never showed it. He was always in great spirits.
And because of his strength and his will and his determination, he lived for more than 3 years in an impossible situation that many doctors were baffled by. And it really had a profound effect on me.
John Sarantakos passed away in the family home on February 12, 1998. He was 60 years old.
My father took his last breath, literally in my arms. That was the worst possible situation that I've ever lived through.
When Dad did pass away, it was so devastating. Criss couldn't focus. His career and his life and his passion and his dream and his goals just vanished. Just meant nothing.
The iPhone app is here. Now you can keep up with the latest news, select hits, and watch videos from TV shows, plus much, much more. Download it for free on iPhone.